Hi, my name is Imo, and welcome to my channel, In My Opinion, where we discuss creative outlooks to inspire hope, connection, and self-love. So today I want to talk about 5 self-compassion mentalities that have really helped me. So this year was quite a hard year for me. I went through some very significant changes, and sometimes I really felt like, am I even gonna make it through? It was just really difficult mentally. I've really learned the importance of self-compassion, of having a lot of empathy and acceptance and care for yourself. And I think this year I really nurtured a better relationship with myself than I have in other years. And I learned a little bit more. I think this learning can go on forever, but I learned a little bit more what it means to love yourself and accept yourself. And those mentalities are very helpful to get through some of the major things that one goes through in life, and some of the things in life that can be very, very distressing. So the first self-compassion mentality that I had adopted is this whole conception of lightly. So that means take everything that happens in your life lightly and gently. So there's a quote that I really like by Aldous Huxley, but I will read it to you. It's dark because you are trying too hard. Lightly, child, lightly. Learn to do everything lightly. Yes, feel lightly even though you're feeling deeply. Just lightly let things happen and lightly cope with them. So throw away your baggage and go forward. There are quicksands all about you, sucking at your feet, trying to suck you down into fear and self-pity and despair. That's why you must walk so lightly. So what does this conception of lightly mean to me? The way that I interpret this whole idea of lightly is in the way that I respond to things. So when something happens to me that doesn't go my way, or something that makes me feel unsteady or unsettled or uncertain, the way that I am to respond to that thing is kind of look at it from a distance, like take a step back, detach from it a bit, and to process whatever has happened to me in a slow pace, which means to me like suspending an emotional reaction. I think that when you look at something lightly, you kind of look at it also more from a place of gentleness, and you almost like behold that circumstance and situation, and you like hold it gently in your hands, and you're like, oh, okay, that's fine, and you sort of like slow down, and you're like almost like a cat that you're petting. You're like, okay, this terrible circumstance that has happened to me, okay, it's okay. All right, so what should I do first? And what should I do next? And okay, I'm gonna go slowly. I'm gonna think about this situation slowly. I'm not gonna I can't say overreact, but I'm not gonna react. I'm gonna slow down in trying to have an immediate reaction or an urgent reaction. I'm just gonna take it gently, take it as it comes, and figure it through as I go along. So that might mean putting a circumstance or a situation on pause so I can work through it, putting it on the back burner for a bit, like working on it slowly by slowly. That's for me what it means to approach something lightly. And it also means to like have a sense of humor about that thing, recognize that we're all in this together. There are so many people in the world going through similar things, who have gone through those things and overcome those things, and who are going through them right now, and just having more of humor about it. So that's what I mean by lightly. Another self-compassion mentality that has really helped me is this whole idea of radical self-acceptance. So what I mean by radical is like, it's self-acceptance to the utmost, to the paramount, to the extreme, to the core. It's like you accept yourself fully and completely, whether it's your weaknesses, your flaws, your embarrassments, your shame, your guilt, your vulnerabilities. You accept it all. So for me, self-acceptance doesn't mean that there aren't things about me that I want to change, that I want to work on, that I want to develop, that I want to improve. It doesn't mean that I don't work on myself or I feel like I'm a finished project. That's not what self-acceptance means. Self-acceptance means that I accept myself the way I am today, fully and completely, and I love myself where I'm at, knowing that I want to change, knowing that I want to improve, and encouraging myself that I will get there at some point. It's just accepting who you are today. And so I went through some major things this year that were very hard, that were very distressing, that kind of turned my life upside down. And I just had to accept it fully and completely, because it was like, who else is gonna accept where I'm at in this stage of life if not for me? Like, I can't expect other people to accept me. I am responsible for accepting myself, and that's a responsibility that I've only given myself, and it's not something I'm gonna put in someone else's hands to be responsible for. So I would say radical self-acceptance. Another self-compassion mentality that was really helpful for me is accepting uncertainty. I am someone who is more of an anxious person, so it's really hard for me to deal with uncertainty. I'm someone who loves structure. I like to know what's going on at all times. But there were some moments in my life this year where I felt like I don't even know what the heck is going on. I'm so uncertain whether this is going to happen, whether that's going to happen, whether this is going to happen. And I had to sit in these uncomfortable spaces of uncertainty and be like, okay, well, here I am. I don't know what's going to happen, but I have to accept it. And embracing uncertainty can be very, very challenging. But when you allow yourself to say, like, I don't know where I'm at, I don't know where my life is going right now, I'm just not sure, it almost gives you a sort of freedom or a release to rest in the I don't know. And what I found is that life quickly creates a path for you, especially if you're the type of person who is reflective and is thinking and is always entertaining different possibilities. I find that life does open up paths for you. So I find that just embracing that uncertainty for different stages in your life is very liberating, very releasing, and very freeing, and very helpful for your mental health. Another self-compassion mentality that was very helpful for me, or is very helpful for me, is pacing, is slowing down and resisting immediacy and urgency, like needing to act on something quickly. I think something that really affects our mental health, or something that gives us a lot of anxiety, is when we feel like things in our lives have to happen really quick. When we feel like this thing needs to happen, like I have to get married, I have to get this job, I have to know exactly what's happening in this relationship right now, I have to know exactly what's happening inside of myself right now. I find that those types of thoughts make me feel really anxious. But when I slow down my pacing and resist this needing to know, or this immediacy or urgency that things have to happen right now, it is very helpful for me. And I feel like it's super related to embracing uncertainty, is also embracing the pacing of how things happen in your life, and giving yourself the permission to just really slow down, being more mindful, looking at what is around you, like keeping yourself grounded and keeping your head where your feet are. and just embracing and allowing your mind to be filled with the present moment and the beauty of the present moment and the abundance that is there. And seeing what is here in the present that is beautiful and you are grateful for and enhances your life. And then number 5, my last self-compassion mentality is this idea of baby steps. So none of us are fully where we ever want to be. And even when we get to where we want to be, there's always another place we want to be next, because that's the nature of who we are as human beings. And I think this desire to want to get to the next thing, it keeps us motivated, it keeps us inspired, it keeps us going. Because there's always benchmarks or places we want to get to, there's goals that we want to achieve, there's intentions that we want to set for our life. This whole idea of baby steps is really important, because if we want to go from 0 to 100 or accomplish all of our goals overnight, that's just not going to be a possibility. Like, that will never typically happen. But when you work at something daily, or you chip away at something bit by bit by bit, you will find that you will get to that place eventually. And you may get to that place a lot quicker than you thought you would by just working on that thing slowly, daily, weekly, etc. It's like the whole concept of slow and steady wins the race, right? As you slowly work on your goal, like for example, if I have a goal of like, I want to just finish maybe a book that I'm reading, and every day I read maybe like 5 pages, eventually I'll wind up finishing that book. And the cool part of it is also I will savor that work that I partook in to reach my goal. As we are consistent and devoted and dedicated to working on a goal, or working on ourselves day by day, and putting in incremental steps, baby steps to get there, we will find ourselves where we need to be. So those are my 5 self-compassion mentalities. I would love to know what your self-compassion mentalities are. What has helped you? Have you ever gone through challenging and trying situations where you had no choice, I suppose, but to employ these kinds of mentalities? Please let me know. I would love to know your thoughts and what has worked for you. Please comment, like, and subscribe for more content. Bye.